morning, everybody, and thanks for the birthday card. I actually share a birthday with Elvis. Well, my birthday is August 16th. That's actually the day he died. But anyway, and Madonna. She's alive and well. So I'm really excited to bring Evelyn today. She's a very dear friend. We've been in the same book club forever. We met because I'm from California and she's from California, and people in Champaign, Urbana connected us because, hey, two people from California, why not? So Evelyn grew up by the ocean in Portland, Maine, and spent time living in the Bay Area before landing here in Champaign, Urbana. She is promotions manager at Champaign Public Library and loves collaborative projects that bolster our sense of connection as a community. Evelyn studied art at Wesleyan University in Connecticut and has immersed herself in the world of publishing and marketing since, learning the software and design strategies along the way. For 10 years, she ran her own design studio here with more than 75 published books and CDs. Her award-winning designs have received top honors from Parents' Choice, University College and Designers Association, and the Chicago Book Clinic. From the San Francisco Bay Guardian weekly newspaper, to Phoenix Publishing, to Krannert Art Museum, and now Champaign Public Library, Evelyn has enjoyed having a key role in designing effective solutions for marketing to diverse audiences. Hopefully Evelyn's mother is here to enjoy the meeting from Maine. So welcome, Peggy. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Evelyn.
Thanks so much, Undine, and thanks to all of you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I'm a visual person. I make visuals, and I'd love to share some of that with you. I'm very excited to have a chance to talk about the library and what we do. So let's see, desktop. I have to pick which desktop. How are we doing? No. It says I'm screen sharing, but you're still seeing my video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So maybe I need to. Oh, there we go. Thanks for your patience. Still not working.
I can see your PowerPoint.
You can? Oh, great.
Yeah, I just see the end of, but you're at the end of your PowerPoint rather than the beginning of it. But otherwise, it looks great.
Fine. I still see my own video, so I got confused.
Yeah, not a problem. You just might want to go up to the beginning of it. And
I'm going to hit the beginning. Thanks for the feedback.
Sure.
Great. Okay. A lot of little guys here. Okay. So most of you are familiar with Champaign Public Library. We've had to reinvent ourselves in much the same way that everybody else is with the new world order that's going on. I'm really excited to have a chance to share with you some of our past highlights, some of the upcoming highlights, and really just some ways that we approach marketing at Champaign Public Library. And one of the ways I talk about that is I talk about what's so great about it. And I'll have that conversation with colleagues when we have a new project. Can you explain to me what's so great about it? What do I need to convey to people? And that really, to me, is what marketing is conveying benefit and value for a service or a product. So one of the things that we work with in the library world is sort of explain to people what is a modern library, and a lot of you are really aware of that, but some people aren't. So it's kind of conveying the message the library is more than just books. There's something for everyone, and even in our shuttered times right now, there's still a lot happening at the library. One of the things I also look at as an underpinning for everything is how people really seek connection and meaning in the world. And Seth Godin, who is a marketing guru, talks about how in an abundance economy, the thing we don't have enough of is connection. You know, we're lonely and we don't have enough time. If people can offer us a connection, meaning, and a place where we can be our best selves, we will seek that out. Now, I really see how the library functions that way in our community. It can be a real hub for that. Debbie Millman, who is a branding expert, talks about how branding is really about belonging, how we want to feel connected to other people. And she classifies a library and what we do as a limbic brand. So we're a brand that can foster community and create mutual experiences. We help people share and relate to each other. And she says it allows our brains to resonate harmoniously with others. And I like the way that identifies something that can be hard to talk about sometimes, about a benefit. So what are some of the ways we've accomplished that in the past? This is the moment when the eclipse came through, and it's almost the exact anniversary from 2017. And we had 2,000 people at Champaign Public Library filling the parking lot, enjoying icy treats, enjoying otherworldly music by a theremin orchestra on the lawn, people of all ages. It was a happening, and we loved being host to that eclipse party, we called it. And it's just one example. I'm gonna go through some of our past gatherings that it's kind of shocking now to look at a picture without masks and people distanced, but here we are. This is a group of people who completed the Entrepreneur Coaching Academy. We have a lot of business services we offer to area entrepreneurs and business owners. And this cohort finished one of our early series and graduated from that with new skills to apply to their dream, making their dream a reality in our community and getting new businesses started. It's a really exciting program, and there's a lot of really good energy around it. We've hosted in the past wonderful installation, artwork, and live performances. We've hosted great authors, and we will host more. We'll see how things go in 2021, but hopefully all three of these wonderful authors will be on site next year. We hosted Colson Whitehead, who's won many, many awards. We filled every seat. We have repurposed the second floor as a space where people can come together and hear a wonderful author speak. It's exciting to be part of that. We host teens at the library when it's not a pandemic time. And last year we crested at 200 to 300 teens every afternoon. We're coming over from Edison and from area high schools to enjoy programming at the library. We have every year a wonderful Juneteenth community party at Douglas Park and Douglas Branch Library. We've had llama llama parties. We've had elephant and piggy parties with family members of all ages joining us. We have a Mother Goose on the Loose storytime presenter and early education supporter. So Dana Antonelli travels to area daycares and early childhood centers to share really lively story times and hand out books to our youngest readers in our community. So what do we do about all of that? We do promote it, and a lot, really every venue we can think of in the area. In the end, like a lot of marketing, it ends up being word of mouth. And word of mouth these days is a lot on social media. So you have people on social media who maybe 6 months ago weren't so keen on it, but it really has become a lifeline for a lot of people to know what's happening and to find a way to still connect and resonate with other brains, I guess you could say. So we do participate on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I would love it if you would start following us and give us feedback in those areas. That would be great. And you know, we work, as far as our family events, we work closely with Champaign moms who really transformed the marketing landscape for family events in our area. We were some of their first events that populated their calendar. And they've been great for helping us get the word out about that. So one of the things my colleagues tell me is, Evelyn, the workshop's full, or we're at capacity for this series. The author event is full. We're gonna have to turn people away. What can we do about that? And that's been what you'd call a great problem to have. how can we ramp these events up so we have a way to accommodate more community members who are excited to be at the library. And at this point, one of the interesting things that's happened with the pandemic, we've moved all of our adult programming to webinars. And we've gotten amazing results with that. In some cases, a series, I've got a slide later on, but we have a series on money matters. And those are events that some people would come, but not very many, usually less than 10, sometimes as few as 3 or 4. And now we're getting up to 30 people who tune in. It's just a different time, and it's a different way of interacting with people. And you know, something that might be hard to get to the library at 6:30 in the evening or 7 in the evening, you can tune in at home and listen to it while you make dinner. You know, it doesn't have to be something that you have to be there. So like somebody was saying earlier, people are able to access events and happenings in a way that they hadn't been before. And in a way, it's helped us with our outreach. We focus on inspiring, informing, connecting our community. And it's been very interesting that our access and outreach, which you might think, oh, you know, your doors were closed, and well, we have to limit the number of people in the building, and services have been modified in some ways. We've also been able to really connect with people. And during the time that our doors were closed, we really focused on messaging about our e-library, which of course is open 24/7. Doors closed, 250,000 items available for you to check out with your card. So even if you didn't come by the library, like a lot of people did that weekend, we announced we were closing, came by and got a huge bag of books and brought it home, which we're very happy to have all that leave the building. You know, if you get your virtual card, you can check out all these items from home. You can get started with audiobooks. You can access dozens and dozens of wonderful, powerful tools that we subscribe to so that you don't have to. We also were able to connect, as I mentioned, on social media with people. And National Library Week at Champaign Public Library is usually a really big deal. We do 30 or 40 events. We have giveaways. We have happenings. We have winners. And oh gosh, what were we going to do this week? Well, we created a campaign on Facebook and ran some different questions throughout the week so people could share their library love from home. And I really went into it. It was an experiment, like a lot of things are. And I had no idea, you know, if you post a question and no one answers, it's not very fun. So in this case, lots of people commented. We had 350 comments. So some of which were photos and some were just shares of words, but you know, 3,000 likes and shares. We reached 100,000 people with this campaign. Very simple. We spent no money on it. We really just wanted to see, is there a way we can still celebrate our love of the library? And people were so eager to talk about what they missed most, and you know, their favorite book as a child and which movie they've been watching. So that turned out to be a really fun happening. We've emphasized that even while the library is closed, or even if you feel like you can't come in the building, you can still get a library card. We have a way to sign up right online. I've timed it. It takes 3 minutes exactly. And you can go from no card to having a library card number. And then you have your entree into so many wonderful resources. And one of them is Canopy Kids, which is exceptional content for kids that's available through a video streaming service called Canopy. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. These are some of the kids' titles. The adult titles are very popular in our household. And once the pandemic started and we realized that this was going to be content that people were really interested in, we upped the limit. And so you have more you can watch every month. It's also an exceptional design experience. I'm always interested in these things, but the app is great. And the way you interact with it is really easy. So I think you'd enjoy that. We added some new resources, and Ancestry is one I'm particularly excited about. You know, genealogy is a wonderful hobby for a lot of people. It's a lifeline for some people to connect with community, with their own family members across the world. And sometimes people just want to try it. You know, they don't want to pay the fee to join, but they want to try it. So we've got a library edition, and that company made it available from home, not just from the library, while all of this is going on, so that people can jump on and start an account and see what they can find about their own roots. That's been really exciting. We also added a new set of courses. It's called Gale Courses. And this is this is a really wonderful series. It's still new to me. I haven't taken one yet, but close to 400 courses restart every month, new session. And you can take a meditation class. You can take a creative writing class. You can learn how to do grant writing. You can learn software. So this is a way to extend the reach of the lifelong education we can offer to our community. Really, I'm looking forward to starting one, and a number of my colleagues are in the middle of classes right now. This is taught synchronous education, so you've got courses twice a week, and then you have some homework, and it's a big commitment. But after those 6 weeks, you've connected with a real teacher, and you've connected with a cohort of learners. So it's a little bit of a different experience than just going online and watching a video, much more interactive. And if any of you try it, please let me know. I'm looking for stories about what it's like to interact with those courses. We were very excited when we had a chance to start opening the library and offering more in-person services. I wanted to give you a preview of what's going on next week. You know, each week things have changed a little bit. You know, we opened on June 26th, and this is the week that, you know, as we know, 40,000 students are returning to town. And so things have changed in terms of the numbers of quantity of people walking through the front door. And we have limitations based on public health recommendations. And this is one way we're addressing that in our building. We have the furniture distanced so that people are at the right distance from each other and can be very safe in our building. We also have huge tall ceilings. It's a space when you walk around, you feel safe because there's just a lot of air and a lot of space for people to move around. But starting Monday, our library tables and study rooms will be available by reservation only. And you'll need to sign up online or call and have a staff member sign up for you. So I'm in the job of communicating some of these things to the public. And one of the ways I've addressed it is to create signage that is calm. And I think a lot of marketing, it's like hype. You're, woohoo, we're gonna do this great thing, that great thing, come on down. And but actually some of the communicating we need to do right now, I see it as needing to kind of reduce anxiety for people. And I was talking to another designer about that, and she said, that's just really fun that you think about it that way. But I really think about it strongly. And we've had a chance to use this wonderful tree image. It's colorful. People tend to sort of stop and smile a little bit, maybe take a breath when they see it. It's worked for staff, it's worked for community members. And I've used that as our iconic image for opening. So as we reopened, you know, the information card about coming on site, what it's like, messaging on our channels about anything to do with reopening or restrictions, it softens it a little bit. And I think it's an example of how design and design strategy can support the experience you want someone to have when they come into your space. So I'm going to claim that this strategy is helping reduce anxiety for community members during a pandemic. How do you like that? It's a big claim, but I think it's actually true. And the feedback I'm getting from staff, especially, because people have a lot of fears about trying something new. For a lot of people, our location is the first place that they've come since they've been in quarantine. It's definitely true for kids who are practicing when they've got their masks on. They're doing a great job. So we are maybe the first place that they're seeing somebody, and you don't see the person smile. I work with some of the most smiliest staff people you'll meet ever, but I don't get to see their smiles right now. So you have to it's just a different feeling when you walk in, and we want really people to still feel welcome to come in, fill out their job application, get help with whatever they need help with, that we can help them with, find that book that they've been wanting that was on hold for all this time. So we really want that to be a lovely experience, and I'm hoping that people find that to be true. We've had our summer reading going on this whole time, and staff behind the scenes, as you can imagine, we're all working from home, but people are just dying to do something and help people and connect with people, because that's what my colleagues are like at the library. And everyone said, let's start our summer reading early. We were going to start May 17th, but we got it ready early so that teens and kids and adults could start reading and keeping track of their reading and start earning toward prizes. So creating something fun that people could join. And people have. It's been wonderful this summer. I can show you, here's a kid wearing his mask. looking at the prize case at the library, and he's holding his little form that he's going to fill out. This is a family that's really involved with the library, and they come a lot, but it's pretty impressive. We have beautiful books we give out to kids and teens and adults who, when here he is with his sister, and these are the books they're checking out the day that they came in. They came in later, and they picked up their prizes as well. So, you know, we're still, it's still a destination. We're still open, thankfully, right now. In terms of offering events, like I mentioned, we're doing webinars now. And some of the really important ones that have been very successful for supporting community members are our tech workshop series. We have a technology librarian on staff to answer questions, and she and other guest presenters have offered a wonderful introduction to technology, including hardware and software. And we've figured out which ones can work online. And this is a group that may not be comfortable. How in the world do you sign up for a Zoom meeting? What is that, right? I mean, there's just a lot that you can only access through tech right now. So I feel like this is really a lifeline for people in our community, and I'm thrilled that there's been a way to offer it. And with this one, I try to really message, don't worry if you've got any questions, just call us and we will help you get set up for this. We'll help you log in. We'll walk you through every step of the way. My colleagues have an amazing amount of expertise, and they also are very friendly and supportive. And so scheduling even a meeting, you can call and ask. People will probably answer over the phone, but you also can schedule time with a librarian, up to 30 minutes. They'll spend on the phone with you and really dig deep on whatever your question is. And I think we've gotten great feedback after the fact as well from these, that, oh, thank you so much. I really needed that so I could complete my job application, and now I know how to do it. Or now I can FaceTime with my grandchildren, right? You know, there's certain things that are a barrier to communication. So we're also back to offering our Crafty Adult series. This is super popular. We've had to limit the number of people who could participate, but we offer it now twice a month. And even though you're at home, you know, how are you going to do this? We've made little kits. So the 15 people who sign up for each event can swing by and pick up a kit in person, or they can have a kit delivered to them, because we're still offering curbside delivery for hold items, for all kinds of things. So if you aren't comfortable coming in the building, you're welcome to just contact us and set up curbside delivery. We'll bring it out to your car for you, or you can walk up and bike up as well. So there's a lot of crafters in our community. People really enjoy this series. This is a time when there are a lot of challenges as far as employment, and our Get That Job series continues to be very, very popular. And one of the things I've been impressed with, my colleague who is our career librarian, Jordan Neal, she has connected with people farther and farther afield. You know, we don't just have to have someone in town here who can come over and do a presentation in person. We can have experts in Chicago, in Indiana, in St. Louis area. It's just getting larger and larger, who are contributing their expertise and leading workshops. And it's just been a way to provide even more rich content for people. And usually it seems like once a month, she does a presentation herself to give people entree into what we offer from the library, the Job Now series. You can get online coaching for your interview practicing. You can get resume help. There's a lot you can do that's outside of our workshop series. And you can, of course, come in and get resources, and you can meet with Jordan one-on-one virtually during this time. So this has been the stories that are shared of the impact that this kind of a program can offer. Of course, I'm a crier. They make me cry every time I read them, because, you know, somebody comes in and it changes their life, literally, to be able to complete an application, to have applied and not gotten anywhere, to come through a workshop, and then at the end say, you know what, I aced it. I got the job. And those kind of messages get shared with all 100 people who work at the library, and we all love hearing about it. So every month there'll be some form of Job Search 101. There'll be an interview, coaching. We've got everything on our events section of our website. I mentioned the Money Matters series. This is the one that's going to happen in October. These, again, some experts that aren't local but are able to share virtually. Our Writers series has been hugely popular. I think we had 40 at our last writers workshop, which was a record for us for webinars. And local writers, and then some writers that aren't just local, coaching people on how to get started, where to begin with your short story that you're working on, your memoir, whatever you're involved with. And we're offering for this fall, another Maisie Sparks is a new presenter for our series, and it all culminates in a short story contest for anyone who wants to join. So November 6th is the deadline. Some of you are probably writers. People usually are, you just don't know it till you talk to them at length. The prize is great because you get coaching one-on-one with a professional writer. And also it's just fun, isn't it? And then in mid-November, we're going to have our award ceremony virtually and a reading. And the one from 2019 was so wonderful and moving. Those 3 stories, the first, second, and third winners from last year, are on our website, champaign.org/short-story. That's what it is. We'll get you to their stories. We publish the stories online. And the series from that last year, a lot of people connected with each other, including the first and second winner started their own new writers group because they met at this event, which was just a very fun happening. We're also going to be publishing onto our YouTube channel some of our wonderful, I call them rock star children's librarians, are going to have done some story times online. So we're going to be able to share that content. And this will be the videos. Some of them are toddler tales and Ready, Set, Read. So with all of the changes in education for K through 12 everywhere and in our community, we are trying to figure out how can we share our amazing resources, is how I talk about it, for kids and families. And so you're going to see a lot of this little guy. He's having fun, he's listening, he's getting help. His parents are happy because he's able to interact and do what he needs to do for school and still have fun at home. So we're doing a campaign on remote learning, school at home resources available at the library. I just thought I'd show you, we've got a website, a web page about that, and I'm going to be directing people over there. The little item on the left, we've made little business card sized cards we can just share out. In our curbside delivery bags, we toss those in. We want to get the word out that if you need support for this difficult time, or if you need to get entertainment for your kids, we've got it in spades, and you should head over to the library's website or talk to a person for help. So we're experimenting. I just ran an experimental ad, and these are the results. On Facebook, I can reach directly to, in this case, 4,000 parents was my audience. So we're going to send out more of these. Just bringing, it's really an awareness campaign. You know, what we offer something that can help, and again, connecting with people that way so that they know we're out here. Facebook events can be a really powerful tool with connecting with people. I don't know if all of you are on Facebook or not. I've mentioned the word Facebook a lot, but it's been a great way to connect with our community. It's a really active community on Facebook. We have 10,000 followers. And in this case, an event can go viral. People love our food truck rally. This is from last year. The page reached, almost 40,000 people. We don't get 40,000 people at the library, but that means 40,000 people are saying, wow, you're readjusting the way I think about libraries. You guys have food and a food truck, and you've got music happening, 2 stages. It's a great event, and the word gets out. My message gets out that the library is a lot more than just books on a shelf. So I feel like, hey, job done on that, and hundreds and hundreds of people. In this case, there were more than 1,000 people show up and have a great time. That was great too. We missed it. This past week would have been the next live food truck rally. I also thought I'd show you, when you have an event going on and you have this sort of social media thing happening, what's really going on? Well, people can share that event to their own page and say, hey, Scott, I'm going to go to the food truck rally. You want to go too? And you can say, sure, let's go. And so it becomes a virtual town square. And in some cases, people ask questions on the discussion thread. This was an example that happened on Life Size Candyland, which is a very fun event that's happened at the library before. So one community member said, is there a fee? And I was able to answer saying, actually, our events are free and open to everyone. And she says, oh, thank you so much. I have 5 children. And when we can go and have a nice time for free, it's so amazing. And so then I can talk back with her publicly and say, well, you know, if you sign up, I'll send you a monthly note about what's happening and other resources. Why, thank you. You know, all this has kind of played out in public. So other people have heard the message as well. And here's somebody who says, well, I can think of 2 people who would love this event. And I get to say, great, I hope they can come. So do I. So there's a conversation that happens. It is virtual, but people really respond. And it's a fun part of what I do, is connecting with people online that way. Also, it's pretty incredible. I can post content that I've shared and my colleagues and I have vetted. I'm not the only person posting to these streams. And then look at that. Through that vetted content, I can reach, you know, more than 6,000 people. And in this case, 600 engagements. So this is just sort of like a behind the scenes in Facebook situation. This is actually from last August 5th. And you get to see what happens when someone shares it and then people comment on their post. So this is kind of geeky, but I really get into some of this stuff. It's fun for those of us who like that kind of thing. We are offering a new service for kids and teens called Book Bundles. And it's a way to connect the right book with the right reader. I love this series. We've gotten incredible comments back. So say you have a reader who just loves fire trucks and they hate poetry and, you know, they're in 2nd grade. You can give us all those parameters and we'll return to you a stack of books, rubber banded on the hold shelf for you, or we'll bring it out to you at curbside. So instead of just telling you what books you should look for in our catalog and giving you a link, we're actually walking to the shelf, pulling them off, whatever's in, and making you a little book bundle. And people love that. And some people have spread them all out on the floor, taken a picture and shared on social media. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this incredible book bundle. My kid loves it, especially after not reading the same books over and over again for so many months. So this is and I'll tell you a secret. If you're an adult, we'll do the same thing for you. If you really would like us to, we'd be happy to. We have a book match service for adults. We're also trying some new world resources. Google offers what's called a Google Ad nonprofit grant. And we've hired a consultancy this year to experiment with this. So they're managing our Google ads for us. And what it is, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see there's like a little sample from Kalamazoo Public Library. If I'm typing a search in Google, what comes up at the top in words, it says ad, that's populated by Google Ads. And as a nonprofit, we qualify for up to $10,000 worth of ads every month. It's true for nonprofits. But there's a process involved, application process, and then how do you populate those ads? How do you buy it? So there's a vendor, Koyos, who works with libraries, and they have a whole system for doing this. And we're working with them this year. And so it's only been live for a month, but we've had 18,000 impressions and 2,200 clicks that have gone either to our catalog items or to landing pages on our website. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And it's yet another way to reach some people who might not already be library users. That's kind of a gold standard in what we do. How do you reach the people who aren't already using the library? And for those who do use the library, how do you let them know what resources they might not have realized existed? Audiobooks is a big one. Tell all your friends, we've got audiobooks for free. And then one of the great things that happens online are lovely comments and pictures that people take at the library. This is a photograph of an installation. Adrian Binky Donnelly is a local artist, installation expert who has transformed our lobby many times, including this wonderful installation of umbrellas during April one spring. And you'll see, there's people sharing. This is from Instagram. The light here is magic, which it is. It's wonderful. We have a wonderful space. The Champaign Public Library is awesome, which we all know. So we're hoping to get back to a point where we can literally hand you a book across the table without having a mask on and all of that. We look forward to that at some point. And many of you probably know that our Douglas Branch manager, Essie Harris. Douglas Branch is also open with all services, and they also offer curbside delivery. We've got videos on our video channel, and I'm going to run an experiment and see if I can play one for you right now. Let's see if this works. A little bit awkward, but oh, it's going to start in this little window. I want to go bigger. And I want to go even bigger. All right. Is that working? Huh. Full screen is unavailable. Oh, here we go. Okay. Thanks for the patience on that one. Let's see.
I moved here for this position at University of Illinois. I teach graphic design and illustration. So I was working on 2 books at this time, The Prison Industrial Complex for Beginners and I Am Alfonso Jones. I specifically work in libraries and cafes. But when I first moved here, I didn't find the perfect cafe. What I did find really quickly was the Champaign Public Library. I walked in, it was a beautiful space, and it was wide open, it was high ceilings, it was big glass windows, it was, even on the cloudy days, it was very bright in here, and I got a lot of work done. One of the other things that I really love about the Champaign Public Library is the staff that I've met here. They're telling me about new books that are out and awards that are out that I should be aiming for or thinking about. They're also telling me about artists and writers in the community. Your resources have helped me with my emerging DJ practice, helped me publish 2 books so far, and I'm working on some new pitches for my literary agent. And at least help me write an academic essay. All of these are going to help me get tenure. In large part, not just in part, but in large part, that is due to my relationship with the Champaign Public Library. I'm at home. So much so I could like take my shoes off and kick my feet up, and I always feel at home here. I'm looking forward to the next few years and to see what I'm going to do here. I think I made my 5-year goals right here in this room. Many of them I've already surpassed. So thank you, Champaign Public Library.
So there you have it. People like Stacey Robinson are making my job easier right now. They're going to tell you what's so great about the library. So in a way, it's pretty wonderful. I had a chance to interview 10 local people who said the most beautiful and wonderful things about the library. I think you'd really enjoy watching some of the other videos. Also poignantly in that video, he's holding books by John Lewis that were award winners. He caught that was a graphic novels by John Lewis. So last slide, this is just to remind me to mention again about how we are fine free at our library now. We said goodbye to overdue fines. You're not going to get a fine anymore at the library. We found that just isn't the best way to connect with people and get resources into people's hands. So we've removed that barrier, and it's very exciting. We would have thrown a party if it was a different world. We're all very excited about it. So there you have it. That's what's going on, and what's so great about Champaign Public Library. And I'd love to hear if you have questions. I don't know how much time.
Great presentation, Evelyn.
Hey.
I do have 2 questions, actually. The visiting authors, do they pay for their expenses, their publisher, or is it the library? That's one question. The other one is, you got a huge place and thousands of material there, and how is everything disinfected there? I mean, that's a huge task.
Those are both fantastic questions. The author series is supported by private funding. So we're very fortunate to have generous community, and we have a foundation that's well funded, and we have the Library Friends group that has had the bookstore and has done very well and been very generous in supporting those activities. We pay for those big name authors to come here. We pay for their flight. We pay for their, we pay for them to come. So it varies. Sometimes we're able to work with authors that are already in the area that means Chicago, so we're an add-on to the tour. So that's an easier way to get someone who's a bigger name. But we've, as you know, we've had wonderful high-end authors. It's been a really special way to bring that love of reading into this year. So great question. And then yes, materials, what's going on? This is the topic of conversation with librarians and materials handlers at librarians everywhere. There's some studies, some scientific studies going on right now that we're following very carefully. But what we do is a very simple quarantine of materials. Is really how we handle it. So as materials come in, they're bagged up in paper bags that are heavy duty, and they are a huge lower level storage area, and they're put aside, the dates put on them, and then once they have quarantined for long enough, we then go back to sorting and shelving. So there's time is really how we handle it. Part of that's, I mean, we're at industry practice or maybe even extra. We're very cautious. Also about staff who are working with those materials that have come in. So
that's wonderful, Evelyn, and I hate to cut you off, and I know that there are some folks that need to get to work, so I'm going to kind of stop the questions there, but maybe you can stay a little longer if there are folks that have other questions. That'd be wonderful if we can thank Evelyn for this this morning. That was wonderful. I know, I mean, I'm a huge library supporter, but never realize all the things that they actually do, and that's awesome. I'm going to share my screen real quick here to kind of get us back to our PowerPoint, which of course I've lost again. Give me just a second. I just wanted to bring up, there was Evelyn, membership event, remember, tonight, 5:30 at Riggs. I'll see you there, hopefully. Next week's speaker is Mary Evelyn Woolner from the Champaign County Forest Preserve. So Andrew will be here introducing her, and so hope you can come for that. As I said, we are going to have our newest member, Jerry, do our four-way test this afternoon.
Okay, the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Number 1, is it the truth? 2, is it fair to all concerned? 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And the 5th is it fun?
That's awesome. And that officially ends our meeting for this morning.
Well done.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Thank you.